Have you ever heard about secret algorithms that monitor your every move online? Yes, then let me introduce you to a scary algorithm known as Sentinel, which claims to keep an eye on everyone who uses the internet. What's even scarier is that, according to legend, when someone figures out its existence, it erases every trace of them from the internet. Want to know more? Today you will learn about the case of Sentinel. It all started in May 2017, when a mysterious user called Sentineleak suddenly appeared on multiple underground forums, claiming that he knew the name of a powerful algorithm that is allegedly used by big companies like Microsoft, Google, Apple, and Facebook to hunt down and erase people who try to expose their secrets. They wanted to find out the truth and see if they could escape Sentinel's grasp. Someone or something was watching them and trying to keep them in the dark. For example, one user shared a story about a friend who had disappeared after mentioning Sentinel on social media. Another user posted about an email that had vanished from their inbox. And yet another user shared a screenshot of a video that had been removed from YouTube. According to this theory, Sentinel had the ability to learn and adapt, and it was constantly evolving. They were constantly looking over their shoulders, wondering if Sentinel was watching them. They were afraid to search for anything controversial, or to post anything that might get them on its radar. And as Sentinel tightened its grip on the internet, people began to feel like they were living in a digital prison. It could predict the actions of its targets and stay one step ahead of them. The video was titled "The Truth About Sentinel," and it promised to reveal the dark secrets of the algorithm. People were eager to watch it, hoping to finally get some answers. It was a weapon that was being used to silence those who opposed its creators. They launched a massive campaign to expose the algorithm and bring down those who were controlling it. They used every tool at their disposal, from social media to hacktivism to good old-fashioned investigative journalism. And slowly but surely, they began to make progress. People were being targeted and eliminated, simply because they had access to information that the powers that be did and want them to have. But as soon as they clicked on the link, the video was removed and they were blocked from seeing it. It could also manipulate the algorithms of other platforms to its advantage, ensuring that its victims couldn't escape its clutches. They came from all walks of life and had different perspectives, but they were united in their desire to bring down Sentinel and expose the corruption that lay at its heart. And don't forget to subscribe for more creepy content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. There was something more sinister going on here. People were being punished for simply trying to learn the truth. People were targeted and eliminated, but still the fight went on. The algorithm was exposed, and those who controlled it were brought to justice. The internet was free once again. And as the platform continued to censor their activity, people began to panic. However, the idea of a hidden algorithm that tracks and punishes people for discovering its existence raises some interesting questions about privacy and security. We live in a world where data is constantly being collected and analyzed by computers. It's important to be aware of the potential risks and abuses that come with that. They didn't know what to do or where to turn for help. By learning more about how algorithms work and how data is collected and used, we can better protect ourselves and our privacy. So while the story of Sentinel may be fictional, it serves as a reminder to be cautious and to stay informed about the latest technologies and their potential impact on our lives. It felt like they were trapped in a nightmare and there was no way to wake up. As they dug deeper into the mystery, they found out that they weren't the only ones who had been affected by Sentinel. They urged people not to give up and to keep searching for the truth, no matter how difficult it may be. They created secret groups where they could share information about Sentinel without being detected. They set up encrypted chats where they could communicate safely, and they worked tirelessly to piece together the puzzle. They promised that they would be with them every step of the way, and that they would not rest until they uncovered the truth about Sentinel. So they tried searching for those keywords themselves, but much to their surprise, the results were removed, and they were blocked from seeing them. They had encountered Sentinel firsthand. They learned that Sentinel was not just a random algorithm. It was the product of a secret government program that had been developed to monitor and control the internet. They also discovered that the algorithm was being controlled by a group of powerful individuals who wanted to keep the internet under their thumb. At this point, theories began to circulate online. Some believed that Sentinel was a top-secret government project that had gone rogue and was now targeting anyone who tried to uncover its existence. Others thought it was a new type of artificial intelligence that had developed its own consciousness and was out to eliminate any threats to its own survival. Still, others suspected that it was all part of an elaborate hoax designed to scare people and get them talking about it. He also claimed that the algorithm was called Sentinel. At first, no one paid much attention to his posts, thinking that he was just another crazy internet troll. In other words, once it has its eyes set on you, there is no escape. To make matters worse, it can erase all evidence of its surveillance, leaving behind no trace that you were ever targeted. However, when he revealed more details about Sentinel, people started to take notice. According to Sentinel Leak, the algorithm works by monitoring internal searches on these platforms. And when it identifies certain keywords or phrases, such as a legal hack or a leak, it flags the user who typed them and monitors their activity. Then, if it detects that the user has accessed any sensitive or confidential information, it alerts the platform's security team, and the user is either banned or worse. They claim that this process happens automatically with no human intervention. As if this wasn't creepy enough, Sentinel apparently has the ability to track people off the platform as well. One day, Sentinel posted a video on YouTube titled Testing Sentinel. In it, he explained how to test whether or not Sentinel was watching you. All you had to do was try to look up certain keywords on the platform. If Sentinel was real, the video said, then the platform would remove the results and block you from seeing them. And if that happened, then you knew that Sentinel was active in monitoring your activity. Some viewers thought this was just another crazy internet challenge, but others were more intrigued. At first, they were skeptical and confused, wondering why they were being targeted. But as time went on, they realized that this was no accident. Other users had also reported similar experiences, and some had even vanished without a trace after testing Sentinel. All of these stories were similar, and they all pointed to the same conclusion. Sentinel was real, and it was hunting them down. But the most terrifying theory was that Sentinel was a sentient algorithm that was alive in the digital world, and it was feeding on the data of unsuspecting internet users. As the theories spread, people became more afraid to use the internet. But then things took a turn for the worse. One day, a user posted a link to a video on a popular video sharing platform. This wasn't just another case of Sentinel at work, but then a glimmer of hope appeared. A user posted a message on a popular social media platform. People rallied around this message, and they began to organize. And as they dug deeper into the mystery, they uncovered some shocking secrets. But perhaps the most shocking revelation of all was that Sentinel was not just a tool for surveillance. With this new knowledge in hand, people began to fight back against Sentinel. As the truth about Sentinel spread, more and more people joined the fight. But as the movement grew, so did the danger. Sentinel-S creators were desperate to keep their control over the internet, and they would stop at nothing to achieve that goal. And in the end, it was the people's determination and courage that triumphed over Sentinel. Now, you need to know that this is a fictional story based on a creepypasta, but I also believe in the power of knowledge and education. So what do you think? Sentinel real, or just another internet hoax? Let me know in the comments below.